What's up, everybody? The Crypto Cheat Sheet Live. This is March the 15th, 2018. I'm Brad, here with my co host Trey. This is our market segments. We decided to break this thing up. We got some feedback from everyone. So, this is part two, where we talk about what's going on in the markets. Trey, you excited about the markets?
you know, it's not real easy to be excited right now, but I do think, at 8K is holding.
It's all
So
about 8K. It's the
if
title of this
8K holds,
episode.
I'll be excited. If not, I'm not going to be excited.
All right, let's start. Let's go through. Let's go through some overall metrics here. I think you guys should be able to see this okay. I think we've done this maybe 4 times, and each time when we look at the top 100, we have not had more than 50 above, or more than 50 coins up against US dollar since we started doing this. So we started this at a really good time.
Maybe we're the problem.
It's got to be part of it. All right, so the past week, so I ran these right before the show. Top 100, we have 10 up against US dollar. Overall, down 13.32% US dollar. We had 34 coins that were up against Bitcoin. On average, down 1.76%. So we'll get into this a little bit more later, but basically, overall, alts weren't doing shit except doing what Bitcoin did, which is being down against the dollar. So the lowest market cap coin in the top 100 was Enigma with just a little over 100 million as its market cap. Some of the top gainers and losers, we had Nucleus Vision up 47%. These are all US dollar. Digix DAO up 16. Zilliqa up 12.47. Binance Coin up 12.36. And Ion up 11.57. So we added a little bit to these this week. Just a quick, like, what are these? Nucleus Vision. This thing was created at Harvard in 2014. It was a recent add to Binance. Apparently, they've got some Tim Draper backing back from 2014. So they got pumped. Digix DAO is doing gold on the blockchain. I think they were trying to spin this as like, when the stock market goes down, gold goes up. So when crypto goes down, Digix DAO should go up. And so somehow this thing got pumped. Zilliqa, this is also a recent add to Binance, so it was kind of down off of being added and bouncing back. Binance Coin had some news this week. They announced that they were creating their own independent blockchain. So BNB is a ERC20 token, but they're going to make their own and try to compete in the decentralized exchange market. And then Ion, these guys were apparently the beneficiaries of the Palm Beach pump this week. So top losers, we had a bunch down in this 30 to 40% range. Syscoin down 37.85. Byteball down 37. Byteball, they had been doing these March full moon airdrops. So like every full moon they would like give away Byteball to everybody that had Bitcoin. And the guy or the leader of the project cut it off, so they're not doing that anymore. So that's why that's down big. Particle down 36%, Electroneum down 31.1, and Nexus down 30. So big losers there. We had a few. We had one big winner. Looking at some of these top 5, I mean they're up 10, 15%. It's really not huge in terms of what you can see from alts, that's for sure. Top 100, 200, 300, 400, all pretty consistent. It all sucked. So overall market summary, not a good week. All right, Trey, we'll move into the charts and let you talk Bitcoin dollar.
Well, so further on the altcoin discussion, when Bitcoin, there's not certainty and confidence in the Bitcoin market, altcoins are not going to do anything other than go down. That's pretty normal. So, if we look at this Bitcoin log channel we've been in really for the last, year and a half, 2 years, basically, we've dropped out of it once, spiked out really hard, went up to 12K, and we were rejected at 12K, which we've talked about in our newsletters and on this before. 12K is the key level. We got what you would expect off a rejection from a key level. I think when looking at this chart, what we're really looking for right now is hopefully pop back up into that log channel, and see what we can do. But on top of that, try and make higher lows, which 6K back February was our low. 8K holds here. I think you could start to see some confidence come back to the market here on, okay, well, hey, we're clearly in this 8 to 12K trading range. I think the bigger concern with what we're looking at here, and that pink line, I'm guessing, is the 200-day moving average, Brad.
That one's the EMA. Let me put the 200 moving average back on. They
So
actually converge here.
yeah, if you'll zoom out a pretty good bit, that 200-day moving average is really what has been the key over time, regardless, since Bitstamp, which is the exchange that goes back the furthest. When Bitcoin is above that, it's bull. When it's below it, it's bear. And all of 2014 and 2015 we were basically below it. So popping back above that, which even during bull times, it's punched down through it and come back above it. So I think it's pretty crucial to get back above it. And that's sitting at about 9K right now.
Yeah, it's been a long time. This
Yeah.
was
I mean, you look at that, that's 2015 time frame there where we finally punched back through it. But
yeah.
Once we broke below it in 2014, it was late 2015 before we ever got back above it.
Yeah.
So I do think that's a pretty key,
Level,
range.
yeah.
Yeah. So flip over to that the chart, the daily chart with the levels here, and when we're looking at this so far on this dump, 8K is held, and what we see here is the red lines are denoting pretty key resistance. The green lines, what we consider pretty key support. The blue lines are just kind of intermediate lines that have proved to be support and resistance in this trading range. But we're kind of looking at that 7,900 to 11,800 trading range. And so if Bitcoin could bounce here, and if you look at that, the tin can and the Kijin there on the daily, they're curling in together where they could flip. I think you could see some confidence come back to the market for the first time really since mid-January when we rejected at 17. Since we rejected at 17, we've been in a downtrend and a pretty ugly market ever since. So we dropped to 6, we bounced to 12, we dropped to 9,400, we bounced to 12, now we're at 8. So if we could bounce at 8 and 8 proves to be as strong a support as we think it's going to be, then there's the potential that confidence comes back where, all right, so Bitcoin's going to be in this range until it breaks above 12 or below 8. And so if you see the stability, for tough to say stability in a $4,000 trading range here, but it does allow for people to say, all right, now I don't really have to worry about this until it breaks one way or the other. That's when alts could really start taking off. So that's kind of where I see us being right now. We are still not out of the woods with 8K, but from what we've seen over the last 2 days, it appears to be as strong a support as we had hoped it would be. And as you can see, looking all the way back into last year where that line extends to, it's a level that's been tested on both sides several times and been a fairly key level.
So how do you trade this? I mean, if we break hard down below 8, what are we looking at? Then we look at 6.
Yeah. So basically, what you're looking at is everywhere you look that we have marked as a key level, there's at least some wicks through. And so you don't want to trade something until you see a close above it and in the time frame you're looking. I mean, if you're trying to trade on the hourly chart, you're not going to have a whole lot of fun trying to pick when it actually has broken or not. If we get a daily close below that 79 line or, in that range, it's a clear trade, then now you're looking at 6K. There's pretty high likelihood that if we clearly break it, that it's going to bounce immediately. So, wicks kind of show us where the liquidity is, where there's support and resistance in the market. And that's what we use to chart horizontal support and resistance. So if I'm looking at this, I think a good risk reward long right now is, hey, I'm going to buy at 8K and I'm going to set my stop loss at, 7,800 or something. And, you may get wicked through and you may be wrong, but the reward here is a 50% move up. And the downside here is, okay, you get stopped out at 7,800, which is pretty minimal. So I think until you see a true break above 12 or below 8, you're planning on longing 8 and shorting 12.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Let's see.
Let's look at
the next one here. Oh, this one we just took off the cloud.
Showing that 200.
Showing the 200 moving average. So I mean, it's still, you still could get resistance on the the retest of the 200 moving average, 200-day moving average. So
yeah, and you look back.
There's a lot to fight through overhead for sure.
Yeah, and you look back into February when we dropped below it. It was several days before we broke back above it. I don't think it has to happen like tomorrow, but if we stay below this 200-day moving average for longer than like a week or so, you really have to consider the fact that, all right, we've actually punctured through this, and that has now become as stiff a resistance as it was support all the way up. So the other thing I'd point out there is you got that stock RSI, and it's bottomed again. Could we break down hard with it bottom? Sure. Is it likely? Not as likely as if that thing was, up in the overbought range like it was when we dropped off at 12K.
All right. It's our last one here. This is the weekly.
So looking at the weekly, this is on the log scale, and this goes back a while here, but what we're always looking for with Bitcoin is it makes W bottoms, and so it'll punch way down and then bounce and then come back and test support again, and it doesn't normally get all the way back down to that low, but it makes what looks like a W bottom. And sometimes this can be an Adam and Adam or Adam and Eve or Eve and Eve type bottom. And without getting too technical, really what you're looking for is that support was bounced off of, the price bounced, it came back and tested it again, and now it's established that as a pretty key level that we can comfortably move the other way on. And anytime you're looking at markets, market makers and big players are looking for liquidity pools, and right now it's pretty clear the liquidity pools are 12K and 8K. So price is going to continue to bang back and forth against those levels until we break significantly one way or the other, and at that point our trend will be established. Right now we're kind of in a massive chop zone where it's risky trading here. There's no clear trend established, and you're taking risk reward trades and hoping you're right.
All right. So I think to summarize, we gotta wait for Bitcoin to make up its mind. I think that's kind of the market right now. Alts are kind of holding steady. Everybody's looking at Bitcoin. What are we gonna do? It's sort of leading the pack right now. So
yeah, I really think we're looking for some confidence in the market again, and that confidence doesn't have to be that Bitcoin's going to new all-time highs. It's going to be confidence in the fact that at least until this or this happens, nothing's happening, and at that point altcoins can take off and go do their thing while Bitcoin makes up its mind and continues chopping anyone up who's trying to margin trade it.
All right. Well, that was the market update. Visit our website, thecryptocheatsheet.com. Follow us on Twitter at thecryptocs. We're on Telegram. We got a group there. We talk about the markets all day. Trey's posting charts regularly. Support our partner Moonware. Moonware.com. MEWN.
Buy some t-shirts. They're good t-shirts.
They are sweet. Hats are good too. Good quality.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.